YouTube, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. So today guys, we are gonna talk about the new Scareclaw supports, which are kinda insane. So the new supports came along with, or was added also in their secret pack, the Scareclaw Kashtira, a copy of Decline, the copy of Defanging, and lastly, a copy of Twin Saw. So the most favorable one that I am using currently for the build is one copy of the Defanging, and then the 2 copies of the Scareclaw Kashtira. I tried 3 copies a while ago, so I'm just gonna settle with 2 copies. It's still perfectly fine with the deck. Furthermore, your gameplay here or game style here is going second for the deck. 1 copy of the Kurikara Divine Incarnate. I had a ton of fun with this card on 1 copy. I don't know what the reason is that I keep on pulling this during my starting hand. But yeah, we won a lot of games with this. You might be wondering as well why I am not running 2 or 3 copies. It's not usually or not all the time that I'm going up against Kashtiras. There are some decks that I'm going up against stun decks, trap decks like Labyrinth and Trap Tricks. So Kurikara is, well, not really usable on them. So might as well gonna go with 2 copies of Lightning Storm for our starter. Just wiping out the back row and then going for our Scareclaw play. 3 copies of Ash Blossom, typical hand trap, 2 Called by the Graves if ever we'll get Max Seed, the 2 copies of Imperm as well if ever we'll try to negate it. Furthermore, we have 2 copies of Triple Tactics Talent, 1 copy of Thrust, really good card. I managed to use a copy of Evenly Matched a while ago with 3 copies. This can be searched with a copy of Triple Tactics Thrust. So yeah, but so far I had a ton of good plays with the deck that I'm using currently. Also, we're running with the Kashtira engine as well with the 2 Fenrirs, the 3 Unicorns, the 1 Wraith Sot, and the 1 copy of Birth. So with this, the purpose for this is typically so that we can spell summon monsters, and so that if ever those monsters will be removed or negated, we'll basically have room for our normal summon, and then you can extend to more plays with the Light Heart and going towards your Tri Heart for an OTK. That being said, the Scareclaw Kashtira with the new build is kinda insane as well. So yeah, that's basically it. 1 Straddle and 1 Defanging for protection, so, and also 1 pop. So if ever you have the Reichophobia on the field, just to pop card in the field, the Defanging can also pop 1 card as well. So 2 pops once you have those 2 cards. Extra deck wise, 1 Bar on the Floor for a level 7 into Ash Blossom. Other people are running a copy of Visa Starfrost here, but works the same way. Nevertheless, 1 copy of 49, 1 copy of 3, 1 Downward Magician, 1 Divine Arsenal AA Zeus, 2 copies of Lightheart and 2 copies of Triheart, 1 copy of Masquerina, 1 Pit Knight Earl. This card is really insane. For a common card, this card is really insane. It's just a matter of positions right away. 1 copy of Unicorn, 1 copy of Avermax, 1 copy of Access Code Talker, and lastly 1 copy of Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. So typically that is your main deck right there, guys. I have 4 replays just to showcase to you guys the power of this deck. So let's get to it, and I'll see you guys in the outro in a while. Alright guys, so here we are with the replays, and I got 4 replays for you guys today. And for our starting hand, we have a copy of Kurikara Divine Incarnate, 1 Astra, 2 copies of Rykard, and a copy of Defanging. So a really good card to protect your Link monsters. So our opponent is going first as always. So let's go. Our opponent is going first, and we're dealing with Kashtiras. So it's just gonna build a board right here. We're just gonna fast forward this. Everybody knows how to play Kashtiras anyways. So there we go, Shangri-La on the field, a Riser next. Detach 1, spell summon the Fenrir, and go for a Rise Heart. So typically not really the best of board, but yeah, this might actually work for us. So our goal here, or primary goal here, is to trigger all the effects of our opponent so that we can tribute them for a copy of Kurikara. So at first, we gotta go for a copy of Defanging just to trigger some effects. Needless to say, it's perfectly fine, because there's no, I really thought this was the birth effect for a spell card. Anyways, normal summoning the right card to the field, get a copy of Straddle and drawing 1 more card. Luckily, we got a copy of Scareclaw Kashtira here, and he will trigger all the effects for the Unicorn and the Fenrir. Might as well gonna chain with a copy of Scareclaw Kashtira, since he will lock my zones out. So luckily, we managed to lock or summon the Scareclaw Kashtira to the field. But he will lock 2 zones here, so typically I can't summon the Kurikara here. So my next best thing is, since he has a copy of a Riser on the field on this level right here in the extra monster zone, so we'll go for the Pit Knight Earl. And this is a really good common card to actually add in some of the decks. So we'll use the effect of a Rise Heart, and then we'll use the effect of Pit Knight Earl. And with that, we are free. We can go for Kurikara, summon to the field, and that is a fat monster in the field. Trying to go for an attack, he'll use the effect of Preparations, attack on the 2-100 defense, and attack for 1-500. On my main phase 2, we summon our Unicorn to the field, or spin back a copy of Preparations so that he can access more of his cards. Set the straddle, and then basically end right there. So not really the best of end board, but yeah, we're just hoping that he's not going to get a copy of Birth here. Needless to say, he did not. He bricked, and that is it. We won our game right here. So yeah, we go for Rycophobia. Normal summoning the Rykart, and he scooped. So yeah, really insane card for Kurikara's. Really insane. So let's go towards game number 2. Alright guys, so here we are with game number 2. So we have another copy of, or another gameplay with Kurikara, 1 Acro, 1 Scareclaw Kashtira, 1 Call by the Grave, and 1 copy of Triple Tactics Talent. Our opponent is going first like always. So there we go, we're going up against Purelease. So let's fast forward this, So there we go. It's gonna get all the stuff here. And I think this is the variant for the Purely deck. He's using Ghost Trick here, so really insane. And going into the Utopic Future afterwards. They're kind of expensive though. So URs also for the Dolahan is a UR. And then afterwards going into the Utopic Future. And then later along the line, Utopic Draco Future. So yeah, very expensive deck. But there you go. Trail summoning the Purity to the field, trying to excavate something. Nothing was actually excavated. Going for a Plump. Plump will get a copy of cards, and he already has a copy of the Sleepy Memory. So plus the one that he had earlier, and he got a copy of Leap. So insanely good for a board right there with 5 materials plus the effect of Plump to attach 2 more cards. And we got a copy of Ash Blossom. Insane good. Was it Ash Blossom? Yeah, we got a copy of Ash Blossom. So there you go. And going for a Noir. So at this point on, I just want to trigger all the effects here so that we can tribute them. Our opponent is going to chain with Maxi. We'll chain with Ash Blossom. He'll chain with the effect of Utopic Draco. Now, I did not see the prompt here, so I just basically canceled it with the Call by the Grave. So yeah, this was actually a misplay on my part, but nevertheless, it's perfectly fine. We can just tribute it with a copy of Kurikara on the field. There we go. And chain with Scareclaw Kashtira to the field. Then link off into, I think we linked off here to a copy of Lightheart. And then I'll use the Triple Tactics to check the hand if he already has a copy of Nibiru. If not, we'll try to lessen our summons here to an extent. That's easy enough to like do an OTK. So there you go. Lightheart to the field, get a copy of Rycophobia. Our guy is going to use the effect of Drill and Lock. Luckily, we have a copy of Call by the Grave for that matter. So not really the best of misplay. That's really good for us. So there we go. We'll negate that. Use the effect of Trust. Look at our opponent's hand. Doesn't really matter. We're just checking for Nibiru. Go for Rycophobia. Getting a copy of Rykart here. Normal summoning Rykart. Getting a copy of our Arrival. Arrival will be used. Spiral summoning 1 Scareclaw Kashtira from our graveyard. And that is basically our game. So attack there. 4-500. 1-5. And exactly 2-6. So that is our second game. Let's go towards our third game. Alright guys, so here we are with game number 3, and we have 2 copies of Balone, 1 copy of Rykart, 1 copy of Unicorn, and 1 copy of Arrival. So our opponent is going first, and we're dealing with a mirror match here. So there we go. We're just gonna make him cook since we don't have any negates or interruptions for that matter. So nevertheless, it's perfectly fine. So what I did here, or this guy is actually running 3 copies of Nibiru, so insanely good. But yeah, we'll try to break this one. And he is also running a copy of Visa Starfrost, which is a really good card that you can go into Baron the Floor later along the line. So there we go, getting a copy of Arrival. Arrival will be used, Spiral Summoning a copy of Alone. Go for, what you call this, Baron the Floor. Baron the Floor on the field. And with the remaining 3 cards, going for a copy of Tryhard. There we go. And I think that's basically his end board right there. So not really the best, but yeah, it works. And he has 1 copy of Rykart on hand. So 3 cards are still unknown. I think one of them is Nibiru. So there we go. We got that Triple Tactics Trust. Really good. You go for Unicorn to the field. Use the effect of Unicorn. Our guy is going to negate it right away with a copy of Baron on the floor. So that's 1 negate down. So we will move with Triple Tactics Trust. Getting a copy of Triple Tactics Talent. We go and get a copy of the Tryhard, I mean. I could have gone with a copy of Baron on the floor here, since he can still use the effect of the Omni Negate. But yeah, going for the Tryhard is the best choice. Anyways, there we go. Use the effect of the Rykart, getting a copy of Straddle. I could have gone for an OTK here, but like I said earlier, we got Nibiru. So not really the best of choice for me, but yeah, I was too greedy. Luckily, I didn't normal summon yet. But yeah, there we go. So Scareclaw, Tryhard on the field. Use the effect of Straddle, and with my monster summon to the field, he will use the effect of Nibiru here. There we go. So wiping my board. Luckily, I still have my normal summon. Doesn't really matter at this point on, and we still have a copy of Arrival to top it all off. So Scareclaw Kashtira is going to be on the field. And the placement for the token in the field is actually very detrimental for us. So yeah, might as well gonna summon the Light Art here so that we can summon our Scareclaw monsters beside it. So use the effect of the Reichophobia, go for Arrival, spell summoning the monster, popping 1 card, and then going for the same Shindig. Go for Tryhard in the field, spell summoning the monster. Acro on the field, getting a copy of Scareclaw Kashtira, spell summoning the Astra, I mean, and then spell summoning Acro and normal summoning the Balone. So immediately go for an OTK. That's it basically. So that's game number 3. Let's go for our last game. Alright guys, so here we are with our last game, and we got 1 copy of Fenrir, 1 Triple Tactics Talent, 1 Arrival, 1 Defanging, and 1 copy of Triple Tactics Thrust. Not really the best of hand. We don't have any Scareclaw name for a monster. Our opponent is going first, and we're dealing with Purely still. So this is basically an OTK going second. So enjoy. Opponent is just gonna do some Purely stuff. Basically, everybody knows how to use Purely's nowadays. So yeah, we're just gonna fast forward this until my turn. So yeah, he got a lot of excavates out of this, but luckily he didn't get a copy of Leap here. So, and also he dropped a copy of Imperm out of it and Jewel Unlock. So insanely crazy for this guy. Crazy. So there we go. Attaching more materials to the plump. Going for the Sleepy Memory, attaching it to the plump, and there we go. That is the end board with Noir and the Azalea. So on my turn, we got a copy of 1 Acro, so not really the best of card, but yeah, let's work with it. Main phase, we use the effect of Defanging just to trigger the effect of Noir, but he will trigger the effect once the Fenrir is on the field. We will use the effect of Triple Tactics Talent, get a hold of the Noir, use the effect of the Noir. Now I could have just used the effect of Thrust here just to gain more access to a card, but yeah, it was negated afterwards anyway, so doesn't really matter at this point on. Just remove the cards on the field, the Azalea and the copy of my friend Purely. And then go for, yeah, Triple Tactics, negated with Ash Blossom, so doesn't really matter if I did that earlier or not. But yeah. And then we use or spell summon our Acro, going for our Light Heart. Now I know also the placement is not really the best for me. Putting Noir on the middle field Yeah, I could have placed him at the left side. Nevertheless, it's perfectly fine. We actually won this anyways for no TK. So there you go. Try here to the field. Spell summoning a copy of Acro, and then yeah, getting a copy of Rykart to the field. Get a copy of Straddle since that's our only target there. But we'll use the effect of Arrival and getting a copy of Astra for third attack. But anyways, that is basically the OTK. So let's go back to the outro. So anyways, those were the replays, and that is the deck profile for you guys today. Hope you enjoyed this kind of content. Like and subscribe for more contents like this. I did the Scareclaw because this was much more easier than the Rescue Ace. Rescue Ace, we'll try the deck out in a bit. I'm still testing the deck out with some other builds. Anyway, so that is Scareclaw for you guys. Hope you enjoyed this kind of content, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Good night.